All right, guys, here's the deal. I'm losing my mind. I haven't left the apartment in a couple days. Can't go to work. Don't have work to work. I'm trying to stay productive. I'm trying to stay creative. I'm trying to stay safe. One of those is going very well. I'm watching a lot of Netflix, and like everyone else watching a lot of Netflix, watched The Tiger King. And boy, was it
outspoken, good looking, love to party and have fun.
Crazy. There are so many different types of rednecks that I was not privy to before that. I also don't think you can own a big cat and not be a redneck now.
What a story.
Here's what happened. My good friend and previous manager, Kristen, texted me, and we were talking about the Tiger King, and she asked me for a Tiger King alignment chart. For those of you who don't know what an alignment chart is,
in the Dungeons & Dragons fantasy role-playing game, alignment is categorized of the ethical and moral perspective of players' characters.
You hear that? It is a categorization of the ethical and moral fiber of the player's characters. Right?
Yep.
Cool. And there are two sliding scales usually. Good, neutral, evil. For the other sliding scale, there is neutral, chaotic. Perfect way to explain these is someone who is lawful good would be like Batman. Someone who is chaotic evil would be like the Joker. Someone who is true neutral would be like God. The Tiger King. 1 L, 2 L's, alignment, 1 L. Right? All right. Couple of rules. There are a lot of crazy characters. We're only going to use one per box because honestly, I don't even remember all the people. Boy, was it a sprawling cinematic universe of hillbillies. This is someone, like I said, who likes to follow the rules and is doing it for what they believe is the greater good. Perfect example of it is Carol Baskin's husband. Well, Carol Baskin's alive husband.
Spoiler!
Oh, spoiler. Yeah. Don't watch this if you haven't seen it. Watch it and then come back and then tell me where I'm wrong. This is someone who is doing things for the greater good, but they don't necessarily follow the rules, but they don't necessarily sow chaos. I think a perfect example of this is the one woman who got her arm ripped off by a tiger and then went to work in like 4 days. I think her name is Saf. They called her Saf. We're going to call her one-armed woman because obviously we're going to call her one-armed woman. Now this is someone who does the right thing, but they do it seemingly devoid of all logic. And I think a perfect example of this is Joe Exotic's latest husband, Dylan Passage. We're going to say Joe's current husband. Because, boy, what the fuck is up with that, huh? He just wants his 50-year-old husband to be happy. Good for him, I guess. All right, we're going to go into the neutral. Someone who is lawful neutral. Who do I have for lawful neutral? Josh Dial? Who's that? Thank you. This is someone who follows rules, but maybe those rules are good, maybe those rules are bad. It's not really defined by a moral sense. Josh Dial? I'm just going to write campaign manager. You guys know what I'm talking about. He really... Wait, didn't he like embezzle funds from the zoo? All of the campaign money that they spent on the campaign came from the zoo. He might have. We're going to put him here. Hey, listen. Just because you put a redneck in a button-up doesn't make him not a redneck. Those are words to live by. This is someone who I think on paper seems pretty bland, but at least for me, spiritually, it seems like a very admirable position. It's kind of like true neutral is someone super zen and is unaffected by the world around them. And I think the perfect example of this would be Eric Cowie. That one long-haired blonde guy. You guys know this guy right here. I'll put a picture of him. This guy is truly true neutral. He's just doing his own thing, playing with his cats. Chaotic neutral is it's a force of nature. For example, a hurricane is chaotic neutral. I think the perfect example of this would be Travis Maldonado, aka Joe's previous husband, the one who didn't leave. The one who Now we're getting to the really interesting stuff, the evil people in this show, because I'll tell you what, there are evil people in this show. This is someone who uses rules for their own selfish needs. A good example outside of the show would be Dwight Schrute. He is lawful evil until the end when he has like a heel turn or whatever. I don't care. We're not getting into that. Maybe that'll be next week's episode if I'm still locked in this fucking prison. Lawful evil on this show. Gotta be Carol Baskins. She's a psychopath, right? But Carol Baskins loves color coding. Now, someone who is neutral evil is someone who just cares about themselves. That rich guy who pays people to fuck him. What's his name? Rob Lowe? Jeff Lowe. I'm going to write Rob Lowe, but I'm talking about Jeff Lowe. Chaotic evil. The last box. Who else would we put in there except for the main man himself, the Tiger King, Joseph Strivogel, a.k.a. Joseph Maldonado Passage, a.k.a. Joe Exotic, a.k.a. Joe Exotic, the Tiger King himself, Joe Exotic. Doc Antle. Doc, I'm going to put him in lawful evil. Or maybe neutral evil. He was a bad guy, I think. Guy with no legs? We're going to put him in true neutral with the blonde guy. What was up with him, huh? How'd he lose his legs? Did they say? They said it in the show? I don't remember. Half his teeth? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's a very good one. I think he is right about here. I think he exists. He fluctuates between good and neutral. And same thing with lawful and neutral. I think he's just kind of depending on... I think that probably makes him neutral. I don't know. The guy Joe paid to kill someone?
Kill Carol.
That's got to be... I guess... Well, he didn't do it. That's the thing. I don't think he was ever gonna do it. I think he was just gonna steal the money and go do cocaine with strippers. That's a good one. We're gonna go... He fluctuates between chaotic neutral and chaotic evil. That's what I think. Lauren Lowe was nothing. She didn't have a personality. Next, the fat guy on the jet ski, which, by the way, I think was probably my favorite shot in the entire series. That man's face is a cartoon. He looks like Peter Griffin if Lois left him. That's what that guy looks like. He's evil, something. Lawful evil. That guy's lawful evil. This guy. Here's the thing about Rick. I think he's a good guy. And I think he is lawful. Emotionally, that's what I want to feel for Rick. But he's also a producer of a reality television show making fun of a bunch of hillbillies who want to kill each other and mistreat animals. And being okay with that. I don't know what that makes him. I don't know what this makes me for enjoying this show so much. I thought this show was a comedy and people died. So I just now had the gravity of this hit me. And now I'm having an existential crisis. And maybe I should go for a walk. Is that allowed?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the slow yet constant degradation of my mental stability. Stay safe, wash your hands, tug your nuts, live the dream.